Today we're diving deep into something that affects all of us, relationships. Not just romantic ones, but all the connections that shape our lives. You know, the ones that lift us up, and sometimes the ones that bring us down. Nelson Mandela said, "The greatest glory in living lies not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall." Now, before we get into the signs, let's talk about what makes relationships work. You see, experts like John and Julie Gottman have spent decades studying this. They found that healthy relationships aren't about perfect harmony. They're about mutual respect, trust, and feeling safe to be yourself. When these fundamental elements start breaking down consistently, that's when we need to pay attention. Let's dive into the first sign: persistent dishonesty. And I'm not talking about those little white lies like saying you love someone's new haircut when you don't. We all tell minor lies in about a quarter of our daily interactions. I'm talking about the kind of dishonesty that erodes trust at its core. For example, imagine discovering that someone you trust has been creating elaborate stories about where they've been, who they're with, or what they're doing with shared resources. When confronted, they might turn it around on you, making you question your own judgment. That's not just lying, that's gaslighting, and it's a form of emotional manipulation. So whenever it happens, it's a sign to walk away. The second sign is something we need to address head-on: abuse. Listen, I know this isn't easy to talk about, but it's crucial. Abuse isn't always physical bruises or broken bones. It starts subtly: controlling behavior, isolation from friends and family, constant criticism that chips away at your self-worth. The National Domestic Violence Hotline sees these patterns every day. If you recognize these signs in your relationship, please know that they are not healthy and you deserve better. Instantly walk away when you sense abuse in your relationship. The third sign is chronic disrespect. Dr. John Gottman calls contempt one of the 4 horsemen that predict relationship failure, and he's spot on. It's that feeling when someone consistently belittles your opinions, dismisses your achievements, or makes important decisions without considering you. Maybe they mock your career choices in front of friends, playing it off as just joking. But you know it's not funny. That's not respect. That's contempt wearing a humor mask. Never accept disrespect in your relationship, and if it happens, then it's time to walk away. Now let's talk about the fourth sign: the unbalanced effort. You know that feeling when you're always the one reaching out, making plans, offering support, when you're constantly giving 80% while they give 20%. That's not just exhausting, it's unsustainable. Think about your relationships right now. Who initiates contact? Who makes the compromises? Who provides emotional support? If you're carrying all the weight, something needs to change. You can ignore if there is a genuine reason on the other side, but if it is happening deliberately and occasionally, then it's time to walk away. The fifth sign is incompatible values and goals. Look, having different interests can actually strengthen a relationship. It keeps things interesting. But when your core values clash, that's different. Dr. Gary Chapman, who you might know from his work on love languages, emphasizes that sharing fundamental values matters more than sharing hobbies. If one person values financial stability, while the other believes in living for the moment without planning, that's not just a difference of opinion, it's a recipe for constant conflict. So if your core values are being hit in a relationship, you know it's time to walk away. Sign number 6 is addiction without recovery effort. This is tough because many of us want to support loved ones through difficult times. But when addiction becomes the third party in your relationship, when it consistently takes priority over your connection, your needs, your financial stability, that's a different story. While supporting someone through recovery is noble, you can't help someone who isn't ready to help themselves. This is another sign that you should walk away. The seventh sign is emotional unavailability. We're not talking about someone having a bad day or needing space occasionally. We're talking about consistent emotional walls, an inability to discuss feelings, and dismissal of emotional needs. Dr. Sue Johnson's research shows that emotional availability is crucial for building secure attachments. Without it, relationships become superficial transactions rather than meaningful connections. So if a relationship lacks emotional attachments, then it's time to walk away. Let's talk about the eighth sign, the toxic communication patterns. Dr. Gottman's research identified 4 particularly destructive patterns: criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. Instead of saying, "You never help around here," which attacks character, try, "I feel overwhelmed with household responsibilities." See the difference? One leads to defensiveness, and the other opens a conversation about solutions. The 9th sign is resistance to personal growth. Healthy relationships should be like greenhouses, supporting and nurturing growth. When someone consistently tries to clip your wings, whether it's sabotaging your success, preventing new experiences, or demanding you stay exactly as you are, that's not love, that's control. Dr. Carol Dweck's research on growth mindset applies here. Relationships should expand our world, not shrink it. Sign number 10 is persistent trust issues. Yes, trust can be rebuilt after it's broken, but both people need to be willing to do the work. If you're dealing with constant suspicion, invasive checking behavior, or an inability to move forward after betrayal, that's a red flag. Trust is like a mirror. Once shattered, you can glue it back together, but it takes immense patience and dedication from both parties. The 11th sign is financial manipulation or abuse. This one's particularly insidious because it often disguises itself as protection or better management. But when someone controls your access to money, forces financial dependence, or uses money as a weapon of control, that's abuse. The National Network to End Domestic Violence found that financial abuse occurs in 99% of domestic violence cases. It's serious, and it's not about money, it's about power. The final sign is chronic conflict without resolution. Every relationship has conflicts, that's normal and healthy. But when you're having the same arguments over and over without resolution, when tensions keep escalating, when there's no willingness to compromise or seek help, that's a problem. Dr. Gottman's research shows that successful couples resolve about 69% of their conflicts. The key isn't avoiding conflict, it's learning to work through it together. Now, what do you do when you recognize these signs? First, trust your gut. Document specific incidents, track patterns over time, identify your non-negotiables. Consider how these issues affect your mental health, your self-esteem, your daily life. Professional support can be invaluable here, whether it's counseling, support groups, or legal advice. If you're dealing with abuse or manipulation, prioritize your safety. Secure important documents. Build financial independence if possible. Create a network of support. Remember, setting boundaries isn't selfish. It's necessary for healthy relationships. Walking away doesn't mean you failed. Sometimes it's the strongest choice you can make. As Maya Angelou wisely said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Your well-being matters. Growth requires change, and better relationships await those who honor their worth. Remember, this isn't about throwing away relationships at the first sign of trouble. It's about recognizing patterns that indicate fundamental incompatibility or harm. Every situation is unique, and only you can decide what's right for your life. Trust your instincts, honor your needs, and remember that you deserve relationships that help you grow and thrive. If this video resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content about personal growth and relationships. Share it with someone who might need to hear this message. Drop a comment below about your experiences. Let's support each other in building healthier relationships. Thank you for watching, and remember, choosing yourself isn't selfish, it's necessary. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.